Hi, and welcome to Sumantra Codes, where we learn Python programming in a fun and easy way. In this series, we learn Python from scratch and explore various topics and applications of this versatile and powerful programming language. By the end of this series, you will be able to write your own Python programs and projects and use Python for scripting, automation, web development, and more. This is the episode 2 of our series, and in this session, we are going to learn about variables, data types, and operator. Variables are names that we use to store and refer to values in our programs. We can assign a value to a variable using the equal sign. We use variable to perform calculations, store data, and print messages. Let's begin by launching PyCharm Community Edition. To create a new project, click on New Project, and this will open a new project dialog box. Here, you can choose where you want to store your project files. Browse to the desired folder location and give your project a meaningful name. Let's say our project name is Episode 2. Next, choose the interpreter you want to use. PyCharm will automatically detect available interpreters on your system. If you are not sure which one to choose, don't worry. You can always change it later. Then click on Create to create your new project and open in the main workspace. If you see Microsoft Defender configuration, click Automatically, which will update automatically Microsoft Defender configuration for this project on PyCharm. Next, you need to create a new file in your project by right-clicking on the project name in the left panel and choosing New File Name. Then you need to give your file a name with .py extension. For example, you can name your file as main.py. Then we need to write our code in the editor window. Let's start by practicing what we have learned about the variable till now. We can close the file structure view by clicking the project tab. Now let's start. X assign 10. This will assigns the value 10 to the variable x. Y assign 20. This will assign the value 20 to the variable y. Now let's say z is assigned to x plus y. This will assign the value x plus y, which is 30, to the variable z. So let's see the output now. We'll type print x and run it. We'll see it will print 10. Similarly, print y, print z, and print x plus y plus z. So the print y will print 20, print z will print 30, and print x plus y plus z will print 60. We can use print variable name in the f string also. The value of x is, and then when again press print, we'll get a syntax error because we have not closed the string literal. Now if we run, we'll get value of x is 10. Variables can have any name that we want as long as they follow some rules. They must start with a letter or an underscore, but not a number. They can only contain letters, numbers, and underscores, but not spaces or any other symbols. They must not be one of the reserved words in Python, such as print, if, for, etc. They are case sensitive, which means small x and capital X are different variables. For example, we can have name as the name of the variable. So this is a valid variable name, and if we run, it will run without giving any error. Similarly, underscore age. This is also a valid variable name. This is not a valid variable name. And in PyCharm, it's highlighted by C, where you can see end of the statement expected. Because this variable name is starting with a number. So if we run it, invalid decimal literal will get the error. This is also an invalid variable, and it will give invalid syntax error. Now let's try some Python reserved word as variable name. So for example, if I use for as a variable name, then again it's giving an error :expected, and it's also giving invalid syntax. Similarly, variables are case sensitive. For example, this name is totally a different variable. You can see that. Data types are categories of values that have different properties and behaviors. Python has 4 basic data types: integers, float, string, and booleans. Integers are whole numbers such as 1, -5, 0, 42, etc. Floats are decimal numbers such as 3.14, -2.5, 0.0, etc. Strings are sequence of characters enclosed in a single or double quotes such as hello, world, 3.14, etc. Booleans are logical values that can be either true or false. We can use type function to check the data type of any value or variable. Now we'll check the data type of a variable using a type function. So for example, type of an integer data type will return type of that type. So if you'll print, you can say it prints class int. Similarly, if you check the type of a float, it will print the output float. We can check as hello. It will print str type. For boolean, it will print bool. And if we create a variable x and assign it to an integer type and name also to a string type, then it will print x name. So it will print the type of variable x as integer and type of variable name as string. Operators are symbols that perform some operations on values or variable. Python has many operators for different purposes, such as arithmetic, comparison, logical, etc. Arithmetic operators are used to perform mathematical calculations on numbers, either integer or floats. The basic arithmetic operators are plus for addition, minus for subtraction, star for multiplication, / for division, 2 star for exponentiation, that is raising to a power, percentage for modulo or remainder of division, 2 / for floor division or quotient of division rounded down. Let's write some Python statements with operator. So 1 plus 2, 5 minus 3 will subtract 2 multiplied by 3. So if we print, what's the output of these functions? You can see print 1 plus 2, print 3, print 5 minus 3, print 2, and print 2 * 3, print 6, which is multiplication. Similarly, we can print 10 divided by 4, which is a float number, 2.5. Then again, the exponentiation operator. It will print 8. Then modulo or quotient operator. So the modulo or quotient operator will print 1, which is a modulus of 7 divided by 3. And the remainder of 10 divided by 4 is 2. Assignment operators are used to assign values to variable with some modification. The basic assignment operators are equal to sign for simple assignment, plus equal to sign for adding and assigning, minus equal to sign for subtracting and assigning, star equal to sign for multiplying and assigning, / equal to sign for dividing and assigning. Let's write some Python statements with assignment operator. So x assign 10 will assign the value of 10 to x. X plus assign 5 will add 5 to x and assign it back to x, which is same as x is assigned x plus 5. So if we have print x and then we run, you can see x is printed 15 after x plus assign 5. Similarly, x minus assign 3 will subtract 3 from the x and assign back to x, which is same as x assign x minus 3. So x was 15, then we subtracted 3 from it, so it will be now 12. X multiplied and assign 2 multiplies x by 2 and assign it back to x, same as x assign x into 2, which is 24 because x was 12 after x assign x minus 3. Then x is 24 now. So if we do x divided by 4 and assign it back to x, then it should be 6. We can write expressions that involve multiple operators and operands in Python. However, we need to follow the order of precedence and associativity rule when evaluating these expressions. The order of precedence is the order in which Python evaluates different operator in an expression. The higher the precedence of an operator, the earlier it is evaluated. The associativity is the order in which Python evaluates operators with some precedence in an expression. The associativity can be either left to right or right to left. The order of precedence of these operators from highest to lowest is exponentiation at number 1. At number 2, we have multiplication, division, floor division, and modulo. And at number 3, we have addition and subtraction. The associativity of these operators is exponentiation is associated from right to left. Multiplication, division, floor division, modulo are left to right, and addition, subtraction are also left to right. Let's see an example. Let's define an expression. X assigned to 2 plus 3 multiplied by 4 minus 5 divided by 2 raised to the power 3. Let's print it. So in this expression, we have 5 operators: plus, minus, multiplication, division, and exponentiation, and 6 operands, namely 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, and 3. Therefore, Python evaluates this expression as follows. It will first do the exponentiation of 2 into 3, which will result in 8. Then it will divide 5 by 8, which will result in 0.625. Then it will multiply 3 into 4, which is equal to 12. Then it will add 2 to the 12, which is 14. And then finally, it will subtract 14 from minus 0.625. And the output of this expression should be 13.375. Comparison operators are used to compare two values or variables and return a Boolean value which is either true or false. The basic comparison operators are two equal signs for equality, exclamation and equal sign for inequality, less than sign for less than, greater than sign for greater than, less than and assignment or equal for less than or equal to, greater than or equal for greater than or equal to. Now let's write some statement involving comparison operator. So let's have first print. So print 1 equal to 1. So this will print true. Then if we print 2 not equal to 1, this will also print true. Then if we print 5 is less than equal to 3, then this will print false. Then if we print 7 is greater than 4, this will print true. Then if we print 2 is less than equal to 2, this will also print true. And if we print 6 is greater than or equal to 9, then this will print false. So this is all about basic comparison operator. Logical operators are used to combine two or more Boolean values or expressions and return a Boolean value which is either true or false. The basic logical operators are and for logical conjunction, both must be true, or for logical disjunction or either must be true. Not for logical negation or it inverts the value. Now let's see some expression involving logical operators. So true and true is true. True and false is false. False and false is also false. Now we see or. True or true is equal to true. We can see it in the output. True or false should also be true as seen in the output. False or false should be false. Not of true is false in the output and not of false is true in the output. We can use type conversion functions to change the data type of a value or variable. The basic type conversion functions are int for converting to integer, float for converting to float, str for converting to string, bool for converting to boolean. Let's see example of type conversion functions. So we'll have a variable with a value 10. It's a string variable. Then we can convert it into an integer type using int and assign it to y. Similarly, we can convert into float and assign it to z. And also we can convert it into boolean and assign it to w. So you want to check the types of x, y, z, w. Then we have to just call function type with the name of the variable x, y, and z. So if we run, it will print the output of the type of the variable. X has a type string, y has a type integer, z has a type float, and finally w has a type bool. So that's all about type conversion functions. Now that you have learned about variables, data type, and operation in Python, it's time to practice your skill with some hands-on exercise. In each exercise, you will be given a task to write a program that uses the concepts that we have learned on that particular session. You can use any of the variables, data type, operators, and type conversion functions that we have learned today. You can use input function to get the user input as a string and the print function to display the output. Have fun coding. So today's exercise is you have to write a program that takes two numbers as input from the user and calculates and prints their sum, difference, product, quotient, remainder, and power using arithmetic operators. So let's write the solution of the program. So the first step is get the first number as a string from the user input. So let's see, we'll get first number as a string from user input. Input, enter the first number. Then the next step is to convert the first number to a float using float function. Then we'll get the second number as a string from user input. Now we'll convert the second number to a float using float function. Now calculate and print the sum using, so print, we'll use f string, the sum is, in the parenthesis, we'll write the expression. Now we'll calculate and print the difference. Now I'll calculate and print the product using star operator. Place minus with star. Similarly, we can calculate and print the remainder using percentage operator. Now you have to change the f string, difference, product, remainder. Now we'll calculate and print the quotient using quotient operator. Again, and finally, we'll calculate and print the power using double star operator or an exponentiation operator. So let's do it in a bit different way. Power is equal to num1 exponentiation num2. Then print. Over here, you will use a simple print function with comma argument. The power is power. Okay. So I think we are done with the program. Now just let's try. Now let's try to run it. Let's say first number is 10. Second number is 20. We get an error. So I have missed num1. Now again run 10, 20. So you can see the first number is 10, second number is 20, and sum is 30, difference is minus 10, product is 200, remainder is 10, quotient is 0, and power is 1 e to the power 20. Now let's rerun again with smaller number. So the sum is 5, difference is 2 minus 3, 1, minus 1, product is 236, remainder is 2, quotient is 0, and power is 8. This concludes our session for today. We have learned how to use variables, data type, operators, and type conversion functions in Python. In the next lesson, we'll learn about strings and strings method. If you have any question or feedback, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for tuning into Sumantra Codes. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more coding tutorials, tips, and tech insights. Hit the notification bell too, and let's continue this coding journey together. Stay tuned.